Yo, what's up, guys? Finally, the Leafs get back in the win column, guys, defeating the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-3. Now, guys, how do we feel about this game tonight by the Toronto Maple Leafs? I thought the Leafs played pretty good tonight. Obviously, Leafs coming off an 0-3 road trip. Of course, obviously, the firing of Mark Savard. I made a video about that yesterday if you guys didn't see. Now, it was obvious that the Maple Leafs were going to come into this game with a little bit more effort than usual, of course, because like I mentioned, you fired an assistant coach, They've lost 5 of the last 6. Their level of play hasn't been good, and some positive news, of course, you're getting Chris Tanev back. His first game since November 1st after that scary injury he had against, I think it was the Philadelphia Flyers on November 1st. So that wasn't a good guy to miss, obviously, for the amount of time they missed him for. So great to have Tanev back. He was paired up with OEL, and unfortunately, Tanev showed a little bit of rust, unfortunately, later on in the game after the Leafs had made it 1-0 with a great play by William Nylander to bat the puck out midair, get on a breakaway, beat Stuart Skinner to make it 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. Great goal for Will, finally snapping his 11-game goalless drought, guys. William Nylander has obviously had a rough go of it since the end of November, has been really struggling to find goals, been lacking confidence a little bit, not taking shots when he usually does. So great to see Willie get back on the score sheet. Great for the Leafs to take a 1-0 lead. But then, unfortunately, like I mentioned, with Chris Tanev, he showed a little bit of rust, taking a couple strides to his right, giving Sidney Crosby open space to make a pass to to Rust, of course, and you don't want to be leaving that type of lane open for Sidney Crosby to make a pass. Rust is able to get in on a breakaway 44 seconds after the Leafs scored, and they tie it up 1-0. Joe Wall, unfortunately, squeaks right by Joe Wall. Nothing he can really do about it, and it was a really nice goal by the Penguins, don't get me wrong, guys, but still thought the Leafs were playing well. I didn't think they were playing horribly. Pittsburgh is still a decent team as well. They're still trying to fight for points as well, And the Leafs were continuing to play some good hockey. Michelli, who was playing on a line with Tavares and Nylander, I thought he played pretty solid. He gets a goal. Really lucky bounce, of course. William Nylander, we all thought he scored it, but Michelli was the one to put the shot on net. Was deflected by a Pittsburgh player, gets by Skinner, gives the Leafs a 2-1 lead, guys. So I thought they were playing solid, the Maple Leafs, guys, doing some really good things. Took a 2-1 lead, of course, guys. And then, obviously, later on into the game, we saw Steven Lorentz strip the puck off Erik Karlsson. Really nice play by Stevie Lorentz there, getting on a breakaway. Not scoring on his first or second opportunity, but the third opportunity to get the goal for the Maple Leafs there to make it 3-1, having a 2-goal lead. Was great for the Leafs. And the Leafs had also some other opportunities. Max Domi was able to strip the puck in the corner, get in front of the net there. He tries to make that backhanded pass to Tavares. Skinner saves it. Then Michelli had another great opportunity to score a second goal of the game, but unfortunately, Skinner had made the save there. So the Leafs were having ample opportunity to score even another goal before Lorentz's goal. Robertson had an opportunity as well. Could have been easily 4-1 or 5-1, but unfortunately, the Leafs did not bury their chances. McGroarty cuts it back down to 3-2, as we saw with a really nice snipe. We saw Stetcher try to clear the puck after he got put on a pair with Morgan Riley, and Berube had put Tanev with McCabe back together. Of course, OEL ended up playing on the third pairing after with Myers, of course. So Stetcher, unfortunately, tried to dump it out. McGroarty got the shot on there, as we saw. 3-2 Pittsburgh, and we're thinking to ourselves, okay, do not blow this lead. Keep it calm. It did stay 3-2, but then obviously, of course, we saw in the third period, the first minute into the third period, guys, the Leafs got hemmed in their own den. Mantha takes a shot from the point, as we saw, and he beats Joe Wall. It's like, that's the type of shit that drives us nuts. You cannot get hemmed in to your own end like that the first minute of the period and let Pittsburgh tie it back up and blow a 3-1 lead. That's unacceptable. You cannot be blowing 2-goal leads like that the way they did. This is why the Leafs had struggled these last couple weeks, and if not the entire season, continuously to give up goals when you're trying to hold the lead, and this is the problem that the Leafs have had this year. Now, thank God, Max Domi decided to wake up finally. The guys have scored a bloody goal in 23 games, and he makes a great play with the puck. He enters the zone with a lot of speed, and he makes a great play to deke through one guy. He's able to beat Stuart Skinner, get the positioning, and it's a fantastic goal by Max Domi, guys. Great goal by Domi there, to give the Leafs a 4-3 lead, snapping his draw. He really needed it, honestly, because he has been garbage for the Leafs, guys. He's having one of the worst years of his career, obviously. We're paying him almost $4 million. We are not getting the production we want to see from Max Domi. But that goal there is like, holy shit, this guy actually has some skill in his pocket that he can actually do things like that. And it was nice to see him finally do that. Like we haven't seen that enough by Max Domi. So it was great for him to get a bloody goal. He had an assist tonight as well, I'm pretty sure. So he had 2 points tonight. Really productive game by him because, fans, and including myself, wanted to see him extended up in the press box there, extended period time in the press box. He deserved it. He wasn't playing good enough, but he showed the coach's faith in him, gets a goal and an assist tonight. Really positive play by Domi. Nylander had another opportunity on another breakaway. Leafs could have extended the lead there as well, but I thought the Leafs did a good job. After giving up the third goal by Mantha, calm things down a bit. They played tight defensively, got the puck out easily, breakouts were easy. Pittsburgh had some opportunities. Leafs did get a little bit lucky in this game, guys, that Pittsburgh didn't bury some chances. But listen, we'll take it. The Leafs needed this win tonight. We saw a couple empty net goals by Bobby McMahon. We saw Willie get an empty net goal. Willie had a 4-point night tonight, guys. 2 goals, 2 assists. Solid performance tonight by William Nylander. Jake McCabe was a +5 tonight, guys. McMahon had a goal and an assist. Domi with a goal and assist. Solid game tonight by some guys tonight, guys. Obviously, not the best performance by certain players like Matthew Nyes was invisible tonight. Didn't see much of Matthews tonight again, obviously. That's a major concern. Even though Tavares had an assist, wasn't very active tonight. Nick Waugh was pretty quiet tonight, guys. Joshua, even though he was on the 4th line, I understand that. Lawton was quiet. A lot of quiet games tonight by some guys. But listen, you got some production from some guys that you really were begging some production for, guys. Like I said, Willie, Domi, McMahon's had some good recent success as of late, guys. So this is what you want to see. Now, I understand it's only one bloody game. We got a long way to go still before we could say this Maple Leafs team has even close to turning a corner. They got a long way to go. We saw the power play again. No goals again, unfortunately. We obviously saw Brad Treliving give Craig Berube the infamous vote of confidence, of course. They said that Treliving had said Lalonde's going to run the power play. Then Treliving says that, no, the staff's going to run the power play. So it seems like there's a little bit of a disconnect there. We're going to have to wait and see, guys. It's one game. There's still a lot of question marks regarding this hockey team, regarding how long the coach is going to last on the bench. Can the Maple Leafs turn it around, guys? Even though they won today, they're not at the bottom of the East anymore. It doesn't matter. We have seen a lot of worrying signs with the Maple Leafs in previous games. Blowing a 3-1 lead today, that's not obviously good. Obviously you don't want to see the Leafs turning the puck over like Tanev did at one point in that first period, but I'm only going to blame it on him due to rust and being out for 2 months, because we would never see that shit from Chris Tanev doing a behind-the-back pass. He's not Mitch Marner, for God's sakes, or Morgan Riley. We would never see that shit from Tanev last year, so I'm going to only say it's rust by him. Give him a week or two. Give him some time, of course, and I'm sure he'll get back to normal. Keep him with Jake McCabe, even though Stetcher has been playing great. I don't mind seeing Stetcher with Riley. Give him a little bit of a guy who's calm, makes things easier for him, so I would not mind seeing that at all. That's what we want to see, guys, is how the Leafs played in the third after giving up that tying goal. Keep it calm. Play like the veteran team that they are at times, and find a way to win this game like they did tonight. We want to see more of that. Obviously, things have not been great for this hockey team this year. I'm not naive. There's a long way to go still. This team here has to go on a consistent run of games now for any of us to say, okay, this team is starting to pick it up again. Now, you got to play the Ottawa Senators after Christmas on Saturday night on December 27th. Guys, that's a big, big game. Even tonight was a massive game. The Leafs needed 2 points tonight. Very vital 2 points. Every game moving forward now, as I think we can all agree, guys, is vital for the Maple Leafs. You have to win every game now. Get as much points as possible as well moving forward, because you have really put yourself in a hole, guys. But you know what? Listen, guys, great win for the Leafs tonight. Much needed victory, putting us all in a good mood before the holidays start, guys. This is what we wanted. Like I mentioned, losing 3 in a row, 5 year last 6. If the Leafs had lost tonight, that would have been 4 straight games. A lot of us fans would have been really pissed off going into the holidays, but I'm glad they were able to snap the losing streak. I'm glad Nylander and Domi were able to snap their droughts. I'm glad the Leafs were able to finally get on the win column. I thought Joel Wall was solid tonight as well, guys. Gave the Leafs a chance to win. That's all you can ask for. Good, solid team performance tonight, but we need to see more on a consistent basis. I think we can all agree on that, right, guys? But one more thing before I end this video, guys. Just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and yours, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, if you like this video, subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.